Well, welcome back, everyone, to the 2024 season finale of Behind the Anchor. Myself, Noah McLane, and one last time for now, the man, the myth, the legend, Coach Jim Fleming. How we doing?
I'm doing all right. Coming out of my funk.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was a pretty good funk I was in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but we're starting to get out of it.
Well, we just keep rolling with the punches, I suppose, man. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, I think you just got to give it a little time right now. That was a tough one to lose down there at Mercer. We felt we were a better team. Did not do the things necessary to pull the win out, and it's the saddest time of the year. The last time you get to play, and then you start building for the next year, and you start getting juiced up again. But it was a tough one to finish with, but can't say enough about what those kids did for our program and what we were able to leave, and that team will be remembered for a long, long time.
Well, we will certainly jump into that, all the goods and the ups, the downs, the fantastics, the records, anything you want to say. But despite that, there's a lot to look forward to and a lot to reflect on. The CAA title, of course, just the most wins in program history. Before we jump into all of that nitty gritty, it would not be Behind the Anchor without all of the quick hitter questions, and we are coming up on the holiday season.
We are. Yep.
So the first question is just what do the holidays look like in the Fleming household?
Well, you talking about present day, or you talking about back in the day? Because back in the day, there was 4 kids running around nuts like you always do, traveling to different places. Now they're grown. Now there's some grandchildren, and we hope we can get them all in town for a short period of time. But the big thing that's on the horizon for Christmas time is the arrival of twin girls for William and Rachel Fleming down in Texas. So
awesome.
That boy and girl now have 4 children under 4, and I think I'll let Leslie go down there to do the dirty work because I don't know if I need that stress.
Well, there you go. Congratulations, and hey, look out maybe as the youngsters start running around a little more.
Look out for sure.
Yeah. Now, when you think back, this could be present or past, but what is your favorite holiday tradition?
Oh, the holidays for football coaches really not the best time. I mean, it's great to get around family. It's great to have a couple of days, but you're always thinking about what are the next steps, recruiting, the whole 9 yards. So I can't say that we have a flat-out tradition that's followed through to any kind of extent, other than eat, drink, and be merry is what happens.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's the best one to have. Now, we've talked a little bit about Mariah Carey. We've talked about music in the past. Potentially, there could be a merger here.
Yeah.
But what is your favorite holiday season song, if you have one?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Man, love it.
I guess. I don't know. That's the first one to pop in my head. You mentioned Mariah Carey. That's a great one. I just got to stop at those two because of Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. I can remember the words to that one, so I think they're all good. But like I said, it's the newer versions of the older songs is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always new versions of things. The Grinch, Frosty the Snowman, all these things. It feels like there's always something new coming out every year. But
everybody's a copycat.
Got to keep it fresh, I guess.
And football and in life, and I guess the holiday season too.
There you go. Now, what is one food for you that is synonymous with the holiday season? I know you said that's a tradition that always occurs. So if you got something on the dinner plate that's got to be there.
Well, I mean, it's turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes, gravy, all the good stuff that you normally get at most holidays.
All right.
We're not, but I think now that I've got my son who's Rhody the butcher, I think things will probably, transfer over to some big old roast beef or something like that. But, I like the turkey.
Fair enough. Love it. Yeah. Now, would you go maple glazed turkey or regular?
Oh, regular.
Regular. Interesting.
Yeah, brined up, inject it with some brine and get it right and make sure that the skin's good and crisp, perfect. Because, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can have the turkey as long as I can have the skin.
Well, there we go. Eating for two, I suppose. Now, what are your thoughts on people who put up Christmas decorations before Thanksgiving even happens?
That's like almost a no-no.
Yeah.
I think that you really got to wait for Thanksgiving to get done. But then, my daughter-in-law, Rachel, down in Texas, I think had hers up well before Thanksgiving. She really enjoys those things. But I can tell you that I'm always appreciative of the people that dress up the neighborhood and never overly embarrassed that we're the ones maybe with one strand of Christmas lights that are strewn somewhere along the property and rarely on. So, it's we kind of look like the Krampus for sure.
Well, you know what? You got him. So it's the thought that counts,
No
I
doubt.
suppose.
No doubt.
So there's a lot of movies or TV shows that have kind of become classics, or it could be even recent ones, new ones. But when you think back to shows or movies related to Christmas and the holiday spirit, maybe what are those couple of top ones that come to your mind?
I got thinking ahead right here, and so the only one I can really think about is Die Hard. The one that happened during Christmas.
Yep.
But don't know any other ones that we always revisit. But Christmas Story, you can't beat that one. I think that's one where I always think about that kid's tongue stuck to the
pole there.
Pole
Yeah.
and the kid dressed up and couldn't get off the ground. So yeah, I think that's a good one as well.
You ever seen Elf?
Yeah, I liked Elf.
Yeah.
That was, I think I answered on the one hitter when they had that question when we were going on the practice field that one day.
It's a good one.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is good. There's one with Tom Hanks too when he starts playing piano with his feet, right? I don't even remember which one that was.
Yeah, that's a great call. That's a great shot. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But, now, assuming that Santa Claus thinks that you've been nice this year, what is one wish list that item that you have on your list that Santa can bring, and maybe that can include your son bringing over with the finale? We can't not talk about it. Bringing over the remote control golf cart, man.
Well, I think the Rhody butcher has to make a little bit more butchering before he can afford that one for me. So I'm going to take him off the hook on that one. He's got a full house and a lot of people to feed, so we'll give him a pass on that until he has the opportunity to do that. But I need a new wallet.
Wallet? You going leather? You going? What are you rocking with?
I go with the same kind all the time. Just with a little flip thing, a couple places to put cards, and I usually wear them out. And then mine's worn out, so now it's got a rubber band about it. I just wish there was a little bit more green stuff in it. But,
well, you and me both.
And then I get the traditional, underwear and socks. That's what guys get.
Can't go wrong.
No, you really can't.
You need it. It's an essential.
Actually, Lululemon was the first intro to Lululemon for me last Christmas.
Really?
And I'm never going back.
Yeah. Oh, you're never going back to anything but that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
It's game changing.
No doubt. I was Calvin Klein forever, and all of a sudden, bang! Here we go.
It'll change your life.
It does.
Yeah. Well, before we get down any even crazier roads, one more for you here. What is one resolution that you may have for New Year's coming up?
Oh, I gotta lose some weight.
Okay.
Yep, gotta lose some weight. I guess there was a story my wife was telling me at the game on Saturday that some complete stranger was talking to my sister-in-law who was at the game and saying, "We really love Coach Fleming, but we're worried about him." I said, "Well, we're going to fix that, so maybe I got to stay off the skin from the turkey this season."
Well, I don't know if it was one of you guys that said that out there, but man, take it easy on the coach. He's under a little pressure in the last few weeks.
A little harsh, but then I saw that picture. It was on the Rhody website, and I said, "They're right."
Hey, well, Planet Fitness, $1 down, $10 a month, man.
I'm thinking that really may be the really way to go.
That's where I go.
I can go down, into the weight room at any time, but
yeah.
Planet Fitness would give you more of a variety of people to see instead of the same old same.
Exactly. You never know what characters are going to walk through the door at Planet Fitness, and boy, do I mean that. But I digress. We'll stay about from that one. But now let's jump into some football here. The 2024 season coming to a close. Obviously, the 17-10 loss to Mercer, not the outcome we were looking for. But despite that, what are the takeaways about how the team competed in that contest against the Bears?
Well, you can't ask anything more from a defense. I mean, that was very impressive. We've got a statement with defense. It's always about, hey, put the ball down. It's really not to worry about anything other than put the ball down and we get to go play defense.
Right.
Those kids had incredible, bad situations. I think it was after the Shank punt. It was a short field. It's a tight game, and all they did was he pushed the guy back 15 yards and made him punt, So, I thought they played really spectacular. They had, 2 big explosion runs that really hurt us in a tight game, and then the quick flat pass that got the touchdown for them. But, I think that they did enough to win the game. I think offensively, we battled. I thought it was they were a good defense. And we kind of wore down. I don't mean, during the game, but physical breakdowns. We had a left tackle was out. Malik goes down. Obviously Dev went down. I thought he was a major difference maker. I always think about what could have been had he stayed healthy through this season, which, the way I got it in my mind is we beat Delaware, we're undefeated in league, we get the first round bye, we get healed up, we beat whoever was the next one up, and then we're playing North Dakota this weekend. But that's fuel for the fire. 3 more feet doesn't die.
Yep.
It just changes the dynamic. We achieved a lot this season that will be, relished and celebrated and will mean a lot as we get over the malaise of losing. But it also raises the bar, raises the bar where we want to go with this program, and that means to play in the big one.
Yep, absolutely. Now, when you talk about kind of those standings and kind of where you guys ended up, one thing is there's been some, talk about how the strength of schedule, and there was some critique to people towards you guys. Now, when you guys go down there and you showcase, what does that mean to kind of go down, win a first-round game, and compete against a talented team, and really debunk those, naysayers, so to say, in that don't recognize the talent that this team has?
No, if you want to naysay our schedule, just come play in the CAA. I don't want to hear any of that. Now, we blew a game versus Mercer, but Mercer is a typical CAA team.
Yep.
In which case, anybody can beat anybody on any given day. They're not, oh my God, good. They're not, oh my God, bad. They're just a good, solid, well-coached football team, as are we. But don't give me that, the strength of schedule should prevent us from, anything going forward.
Yep.
I'll go play in the Southern Conference, and I'll do that. I'd be happy to do that. And, trade spots for a year and let's see how it is. I know what the CAA is, and it's a bloodbath every year.
Yep.
And you look at that's represented, very easily by, Albany's rise. I think they got to the semifinals last year with a great year, and they finished with 3 or 4 this year. I mean, it's just, that's the way the ball bounces sometimes. And, we were very fortunate to be able to put together a very special team with a very special, characteristics of, team first, completely committed group to the same common cause that loved one another and played extremely well and got 11 wins. So, strength of schedule, poo-poo on that.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And now, when you think back, kind of knowing all the magic that happened throughout this 2024 season, and just after that game, kind of just walk us through a little bit of what was the emotions in that locker room following that game.
That's tough. That's a tough memory. I mean, there was a lot of crushed people in there, and it wasn't so much just because you lose. It's because it's the last time you get to play together. Our whole goal in that game was to be able to be playing on Monday. It wasn't be Mercer to take it. It's just let's get to practice field on Monday because we want to keep this going. You got a lot of seniors there that played their last bit of football, more than likely. Hopefully not for some of them, but there was an extreme amount of tears and emotion in that locker room. But we got together on Monday. We talked it through a little bit, and I got together with them again. We sent our seniors off. Now you're a new team, and by what was really kind of depressing on Monday became today was get them together and talk about where we're going.
Right.
What do we have to do to be able to to better our best, and that means we have to make the adjustments necessary within the program. We have to create this similar culture. We need to learn from what we learned from this year, carry that into the next year, and then it's the responsibility of our coaching staff and those kids to be able to, hold everybody to a very high level of expectation.
Yeah.
And we do that, then we're going to make another run at it next year.
Now, when you think back again, kind of just jumping right off of that, when the friends of Rhode Island football and fans all over the country think about this team, what do you want them specifically to remember that was special about 2024 Rhode Island football?
I got to say it's their grit, their determination, their lack of fear when circumstances look bad. I mean, it came through, right? I mean, I came in here and I remember on interviews I said, what I really want to do with any football program is to put a product on the field that plays hard, plays gritty, but brings pride and joy to the people that watch them. And I thought we accomplished that this year very, very clearly. And I think that when you look at the impact it had on our school, our community, and even the state, it's very rewarding, because I think that speaks volumes to the importance of Rhode Island football, which 11 years ago they would have said, hey, who needs it? But now I think that people will be jacked up next year. They're going to be looking forward to getting a new stadium built. They're going to be looking forward to the growth, and now we have to feed the monster. I mean, we need to feed it in every way, with resources, with continual evolvement. Because we've got a good product. We've got a good product that's winning. We've got a great university we can recruit to, and we've got a proven track record. So let's keep it rolling.
Amen. And speaking of that, when you think about just kind of keeping things rolling, but before you get to that point, just what was your personal favorite memory? I know that's probably hard because there was so many things that happened long season, but what's one of your favorite memories about coaching this team?
It's watching them. I mean, watching them on a day-to-day. But I mean, the most favorite memory I have, right, was 19 seconds to go that Dev throws the ball to number 6, and he goes out like a rocket and beats Holy Cross, which truthfully could be argued to be the play of the year.
Yeah.
You don't start with that one, but it's been the favorite part really is present. Because I mean, you get a chance right now to bring every one of those kids in there and talk to them about, their experience, the seniors first, and then all the underclassmen will come in and spend 5, 10, 15 minutes with each kid, and to hear them verbalize, what they thought were the keys and how special that group was, and they all come back to the tightness of the locker room, the love they have for one another, and that's what you try to achieve. And I think that's a very special thing for me, and coaching them on a day-to-day. I mean, I watch coaches coach, and they coached them hard. These kids took hard coaching, and they responded. So I couldn't be more prouder of a group, all the way through the program. And that doesn't just include football players and football coaches. It's trainers, it's managers, it's you guys, it's the whole program together was just a very special experience. Absolutely.
I can certainly attest to that. I think when you walk in, you feel immediately like it's something different, right? And even for us here at a very small portion of what's going on, when you have the welcoming in from everybody, the staff, I think it just really speaks to how special this program is. And I will be foolish not to say that when the common factor of all of that in all of the interviews, every single person, it gets back to you, right? And everybody says it, where it's like, the man Jim Fleming, when he came in here and what he's done. So that's a big tip of the cap to you from us, from everybody that we've interviewed, because it always ends up coming back. But I just want to give credit where credit is due, absolutely. Now you've had a really long.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
but it is a we thing.
It is, and I recognize that
absolutely.
And it's a team sport, and it's a team. Coaching. You don't got one coach. I recognize that, but got to give a shout out to the man. So
I guess I'll take it.
Well, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
Now you've had a long coaching career, and you've seen the goods, the bads, the championships, but when you think about this team so far along that journey, where does this team kind of sit for your coaching career?
Yeah, it's got to be the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
I think that you look at, a task that, I had the quote, right? The quote was, the difficult we do immediately, the impossible takes a little longer. And I think that's probably representative of what's happened here. I mean, I think everybody in the world would have said it was impossible for to come in here and recreate a championship at this place, 11 years ago. So you go to work, you have a number of different coaches, players go through, all in the same program, all with the same mindset, but, some point in time it just comes together for you. And so I think that as a culmination of an 11-year journey, I think that it's got to be the most special.
Love it. Love it. Well, that is, kind of a recap of the 2024 season, and now it's officially off season, right? And when you think about that, just the first question we have with the 2024 season, kind of having come and gone, just how much of an impact, if any, has the prolonged season with the playoffs, had an impact on the approach to the recruiting and things of that kind of nature?
It's another positive that we can sell. Now this whole world of recruiting has changed quite a bit. It used to be that, you'd be freaked out because, you were playing and you missed 2 weeks of high school recruiting. Well, I got all my coaches in here and they're not high school recruiting right now. They're portal recruiting.
Yeah.
They're looking at the pieces that we need to be able to help, replace guys in the program that will help make us better. And then we'll get around to the high school kids because we're going to bring a blend of both high school and transfer kids in here. But we've got another feather in the cap to be able to brag about. You're a championship level football program. You've got facilities that are being built. You've seen great success by, players that have transferred in and had great experiences. And you also have, unfortunately, the experiences of young players that develop and then transfer out to be able to chase a different avenue, and maybe make some more money. I mean, so I don't like that part of it. I like the part of getting good guys in. I don't like the part of leaving them. But I think when you talk about how you have to evolve with the times, recruiting, now it has to become something that, I recognize the first time I would mention to the staff, do we use the portal, the transfer success as a recruiting tool?
Yeah.
And at that point in time, there's no way, you don't want to tell everybody they can come in here and then transfer out. Well, it's a different deal now. I can talk about A.J. Cornelius, who's going to be a first-round draft pick, who we found out when he was a junior, when he was an overweight junior offensive lineman down at Stepinac High School. Came in, we developed him, we built him up, we got him ready.
Yep.
He jumped in the portal, and bang, making $700,000, going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
You've got a number of kids that have gone through it. I hate that component because I like to see them finish here. And the biggest reason I want to see them finish here is because I just don't know, at the end of the day, where do they identify with?
Right.
Are they Rhody Rams? Are they Oregon Ducks?
Yep.
Are they whatever? And I really like to think that, the ones that stay, this team here will be a Hall of Fame team. It will be a recognized team at 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And that won't just be if we do it right, it won't be just the team. It'll be all you guys. It's the training staff. It's everybody who touches the program.
Right. And I do got to bounce off of that because, A.J. Cornelius just had a feature done by CBS on him and his family and kind of his journey. And when you listen to it, he has a lot of high praise for this university, for this program, for you as a coaching staff. Just what does that mean to hear him and his family have so much love for a program that he knows got him to that next level, even when he's now wearing different colors, but he still bleeds Rhode Island blue.
Yeah, I think that's a very respectful thing to do. I think you leave, you go to a different spot, and then be able to come back and pay tribute to the guys that gave you the start. I think that's the right thing to do.
Yep.
And but that's representative of the kind of character that we try to recruit here.
Yep.
He's a good kid. He's a good kid that grew into be a monster, and he's going to, like I said, maybe make $1 million, playing football for as long as he possibly can. But He's very respectful. He's got a great family, and I had to call his mom a couple of years ago just to say, hey, listen, I'm not mad at you no more. I mean, I'm not mad, never have been mad. I'm happy for his success, and you guys are always welcome here. And that message, if anybody else is out there that's transferred out, you guys are welcome back too, man.
Awesome. Well, I love that. I love that message. And if for some bizarre reason, AJ, you see this, dinner's on you. So that's
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that with that conversation.
It'll be a big dinner too,
Yeah.
big boy. And a little contribution to the University of Rhode Island.
Well, there you go. If you're seeing
pay back your 2 years or 3 years of scholarship, we're clean.
We'll call it even then. There's the shout. Oh, man. But moving on now, from now into this offseason, quick sprint into the holidays. But what does this kind of look like for your staff and for your players and kind of such a quick turnaround? Obviously, today the last day of classes and, guys starting to head home. So what does that look like?
Well, I mean, for the kids, it's let's get their ring sizes. Let's make sure that they finish school the right way. That was part of the message this morning. Take care of their business and then go enjoy their holidays with their family. Now, same time this is the longest break they will have from URI.
Yeah.
When you look at a year-round basis, they'll get a little break at the end of May, but then they're back here all summer and all the way through the end of the season. And this is the longest time. So, their responsibility is to make sure they're staying training. They're going to come in good shape so we can really grind it out in the off season, which I think, you start looking at why did we get where we were, and I get some information and feedback from these kids when they walk in here. But, we grinded hard last year and it was hard and we became hard and we were tough and it all kind of came together. And so that's going to be the way, boys. You better be ready to go.
Well, there you have it. Another shout right there. So you heard the man again. Now, we touched on this a little bit, but if you can just kind of hit on it again quickly here. Just what does it mean for now when you're going out into that portal and looking for guys to come in here and then eventually the high school recruits as well? What does it mean to not only have that 11-win season, but also, like you mentioned, be a championship level program to pitch and say, hey, listen, this is us and this is what we represent, and how does that just make it more enticing?
I think that it does because people want to go to winners. There's some guys that have come in here that have transferred in that never had a championship, and they got one. Never had a successful season and they got that. So those things are positive. Kids are transferring for, a number of reasons. If they're transferring down, they're not playing, they're not getting enough PT, whatever it may be. They're looking for something different. I felt like, for a couple of years, really the biggest reason was that, they didn't get what they had in high school. Everybody had a high school experience as a player that was, camaraderie and team and, a lot of good feeling, and everybody remembers their high school days pretty fondly, and then they get to college and they're not getting the same kind of interaction which you get here. I mean, over and over again I hear, that it's just the way we operate, the way we are open, our doors are open, the way we communicate with the kids. We don't sit there and, walk by kids without saying, hey, which happens at some programs, which is insane. So, I think that helps get them in the door. The winning helps. But, as I told the kids this morning, I said, it's the best selling point of the University of Rhode Island football program is the kids that were sitting in front of me. Yep. They're the ones that have to give the message. And a story came up today about, when Carson Primrose came on campus, 6-7 months ago. And, walked in here and he was met at the door by, half the D-line, and it was all about, all right, we're going to work, we're going to win, we're winning a championship, and it was eye-opening to him, the commitment level right from the get-go. So, what we want is our kids to be able to recruit the right kind of kids that they feel will fit in here. Don't need prima donnas, don't need, guys that come in here and, think they're all that. Going to come in and be part of the football team and going to contribute to the best they can to help us, achieve another championship and plus.
Love it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Man.
Yeah, man.
It's a good thing we got cameras rolling, man. Making me look like I should just go get a job at Wendy's. You should take my job. Goodness.
No, I'm good at answering. I would not be good at asking.
Well, we got one more for you, which is, what are you personally just kind of looking forward to the most this off season, maybe outside of football, in your free time?
You got to put at the top of the list. Going to go meet 2 new grandchildren at some point in time, which is a blessing. Besides that, I don't know. You sit there. I don't have any big plans. Scheduled. I think that get through recruiting in February, and me and Les probably got to get out of town for a couple of days just to do something, and then you look forward to getting together again, getting the summer months back. But I look forward to. I still look forward to this process, the development of getting kids in here to be able to go ahead and now develop a new team, keep grinding it, and see if you can recreate magic, and that's the intent. It's always been to be able to have a sustained championship level football program, and I think it's possible, and we have to go ahead and prove it. We've got a number of winning seasons in a row. We had a very special season this year. Let's just keep rolling on that trajectory and see how good we can be.
Certainly, we'll see how that can be, and I kept it on the right track is right. I would say nothing short of fantastic of a year, and with that, just to all of the friends of Rhode Island football out there, the fans, thank you so much for your support and tuning in every week. Hopefully, maybe this is your first time. I'm sorry we're on the back end of it, but thank you so much for tuning in to Behind the Anchor and all of Rhody football front office all season long. So one last time, Coach, thank you so much. It has been just fantastic to sit down with you. And, we will be back here in a few weeks. We're not going away. We're just taking a short break. I am happy to say that I got one more semester here, so something tells me if you got some time, I'd love to sit down and we'll still chat football in the off season. But until that point, thank you so much. And one last time, that's another episode of Behind the Anchor.
Merry Christmas.